With that, now I'm glad we cleared that up. Let's bring in Jonathan Turley, George Washington University law professor, constitutional law attorney, and Fox News contributor. Jonathan, any animals that you might have been eating that you want to clear anything up about in the past?
I'm not willing to reveal that at this time, but give me some time on this, yeah.
All right. So interesting that we have this news now from Judge Merchan that the sentencing in the New York case, which became known as the Stormy Daniels case, the sentencing is now going, of which there were 34 convictions, going to be moved to September, mid-September, I believe the 16th, for former President Trump. Your reaction to that, Jonathan?
Well, the expectation is that Judge Merchan is not going to be inclined to order a new trial. The argument here is that you did indeed trip the wire during the trial because they incorporated conversations with people like Hope Hicks, who gave her impressions of what the president was like in the Oval Office. There was other testimony that was incorporated. The prosecutors included those points in their closing argument. So the defense is going to say you really can't make that cat walk backwards. You can't, you use this information. It's not clear how it influenced the jury. The prosecutors are going to argue that this is sort of what is sometimes called a harmless error defense for prosecutors, an argument for prosecutors, that you can remove that testimony and it wouldn't have made any difference, that the evidence was so strong in the view of the prosecution that it was harmless. So the question is whether Judge Merchan is going to be persuaded. He has historically ruled against the president. The expectation is that he will do so again and that this will delay it, but sentencing is still going to come in September.
So with regard to the SCOTUS decision, the act of this particular case was the signing of checks to cover up the Stormy Daniels situation. They said it was false business records. Does the fact that that had to do with something that happened before Donald Trump was president mean that that is an unofficial act? And in fact, I think his lawyers had argued that that check writing was an unofficial act. So if those, Hope Hicks and other exchanges can be removed from this without any harm to the underlying case, as you say, is this whole ball of wax unofficial acts?
Well, it gets a little murky because, of course, the signing occurred after he was president. The signings occurred in the Oval Office, and they brought in Hope Hicks to say that he would multitask and he was doing presidential stuff while signing these types of checks. The prosecutors will argue that that doesn't change the fact that these were private in orientation. This actually goes to why what President Biden said last night was untrue. The president misled the public on the meaning of the Supreme Court case and said that virtually all limits are off the presidency. That is not true. The Supreme Court created what it viewed as a middle path, and it said that private or unofficial acts do not get immunity, and even official acts may not get immunity if the prosecutors can overcome the presumption. So it's very different from what the president told the American people last night.
Yeah, and it's very different from what the interpretation has been on the part of a lot of people. I'm glad that you continue to lay that out, because this was a judgment about the presidency and whether or not a president is exempt from prosecution over official acts. And as you rightly point out, as always, Jonathan, even those can be dissected by a lower court and determined to be unofficial, correct?
That is absolutely correct. And people are saying absolute nonsense about death squads roaming our streets. We have all other parts of the Constitution, from impeachment to courts that can enjoin conduct. The president is not suddenly a lone actor in the government upon himself.
Not a king or any of the other things that have been suggested. Jonathan, always good to have you with us. Thank you very much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.